Reverend Fathers and Brothers, I consider it a great privilege to speak a few words on our father and founder John Bosco. I would begin raising a question. In this world which is changing in every respect, can the ideas of the 19th century saint, known for his work among the young, say something relevant to educators of the 21st century? Time has passed, years have gone by. Can John Bosco, a hero of the 19th century, continue to be a great legacy to the people of the 21st century? When analyzed, from the very fact that his mission has extended over 130 countries and Don Bosco is accepted all over, and that the young of today still face similar challenges, we can come to a conclusion that Don Bosco and his mission is gaining prominence and is still relevant. And therefore, as actively involved in the mission of young, it may be indeed good to recall what the fourth successor of Don Bosco, Paul Ricaldone, had said years back, reflecting on Don Bosco's spirit. John Bosco's aim was not merely instruction, but religious formation. He always aimed at practice more than at knowledge. For true instruction, he expected an earnest and exemplary practice of religion. When a boy enters the oratory, John Bosco wrote, he must understand its religious ambience, within which also we hope to form good Christians and honest citizens. The Strenna for the year 2020 confronts us to reflect on the same and invites us to reach out to the young in concrete ways. And therefore, it is the right time for us to contemplate on this original spirit of Don Bosco, as the Rector Major, Father Angel Fernandez, has proposed the Strenna for the year 2020, Good Christians and Upright Citizens. Rector Major, at the announcing of the new Strenna, said, "After the meeting of the World Council of the Salesian Family in Turin in May, I decided to propose for the Strenna of 2020 a theme that, in the form of a pair, embodies the essence of our Salesian education. We received it from Don Bosco himself to help our boys, girls, and young people to be good Christians and honest citizens. We need to deepen more and more our identity as evangelizers and educators of the faith. Honest citizens and good Christians could be seen as two closely interwoven dimensions of a single educational project. When Don Bosco began his work for the young, these two aspects of education was clear in his mind. His three Christian convictions were: God gives everyone the possibility of salvation. There are three categories of people about whose salvation only a few think, namely poor and abandoned boys, uninstructed and marginalized people, and pagans deprived of the knowledge of the gospel. Finally, great is the mission of the apostle who brings salvation to these." We are all familiar with the second important element of Don Bosco's education system, religion. Obviously, being a son of the church, he never compromised inculcating Christian values. He stressed the importance of going to communion and confession frequently. He saw the power of these sacraments in helping young people gain a certain sense of peace and direction in life. While there is a movement in today's society to remove God from the picture of human affairs, when Nietzsche's claim of God is dead is taking root in every sense in the lives of people, especially among young, there is a need to appreciate and encourage the sense of the sacred in their lives. This means leading the young people to connect to a transcendent being and power in their lives. And therefore, in a society full of materialism, we are invited to provide a spirituality that young people can firmly hold on to as they grow into their adult years. That cause to bring youth in touch with the divine by arousing in them a sense of awe. It is in this context that the Rector Major invites the Salesians all over the world to live in the faith of the Lord and be guided by His Spirit and listen to His voice to evangelize so as to be instruments of change in the lives of the young. When Don Bosco started the oratory, he felt that boys needed a helping hand to guide them in virtue, to shield them against vice. Hence, he found shelter in religion. He would often repeat, "Religious instruction is our first concern, all the rest is but secondary and a means to attract the young." Hence, he would preach daily morning and evening. His catechists did the same, and they touched on all the topics: church history, life of the popes, the whole catechism. Furthermore, in the oratory there were opportunities for confession and Holy Eucharist on a regular basis. The time has come to relive those ideas of Don Bosco to bring out the young, good Christians. The understanding of upright citizens is no longer the same as before and can never be. The economic, socio-political and juridical nature has changed in our own land. In our own land, youth are vulnerable and have been brainwashed by the so-called political goons. Anti-nationalistic ideas have conquered the minds of the people. In this vast diversity of technological and sociological change, there is a need for concrete ways of approach to revive the spirit of the young to build the nations. Firstly, it is therefore to realize, as the Rector Major says, that the youth are waiting for us in the house of life. Secondly, we need to educate ourselves and our young people in citizenship and social commitment. Thirdly, there is a need to be sensitive and co-responsible in a world on the move of migration. Finally, join our hands in taking care of the common house as the young people ask of us, and form young in the defense of human rights, especially the rights of the minors. The often reiterated objective of working with young generations through education in order to make many honest citizens and good Christians does not allude to two distinct educational pathways, that of a civil character and that more precisely of a religious nature, but it reflects a single and whole model of human and personal growth. As actively involved in the mission of the young, the Strenna offers us the opportunity to relive the spirit and intention of Don Bosco in educating ourselves and the young. May all our works be in accord with these words of Don Bosco: to win souls for Jesus the Savior, to do good to young people in danger, to prepare good Christians for the church and upright citizens for civil society, so that in this way all may one day succeed in reaching their home in heaven. Amen.